Okay, this is Ain't No More Cane on the Brazos. It's a prison farm song, work song from Texas, where they used to have a lot of, well, they grew sugar cane and made sugar, refined sugar, and the workforce was largely black convicts that unfortunately were worked to death in some cases, and when they needed more, they just go out and arrest some more people. So, not funny. And but if you, I shouldn't be talking so much, but there's a great video of this, probably done by the Lomaxes in the 30s, where these prisoners are singing this song. You can find it if you Google judiciously. But there are also many more recent covers of the song that have fancy chords and everything, and they make it very pretty, which is fine. But I think you cannot improve on these two convicts who sing this song. Well, there ain't no more cane on this Brazos. Oh, they done ground it all down in a molasses. Oh, you ought to come on this Brazos in 1904. Oh, you could find you a dead man in every turning road. Oh, and there ain't no more cane on this Brazos. Oh, it's all been ground down in a molasses. Oh, you ought to come on this here Brazos in 1910. Well, you know, they was rolling the women like they was driving the men. Oh, and there ain't no more cane on this Brazos. Oh, they done ground it all down in a molasses. Oh, thank you. I think this one doesn't need an introduction. I have a little red rooster, too lazy to crow for day. I have a little red rooster, too lazy to crow for day. keep everything in the barnyard upset in every way. Dogs begin a barking, hounds begin a howl. Dogs begin a barking, hounds begin a howl. Watch out, all you strange kin people. My little red rooster's on the prowl. What do you want with a rooster? Too lazy to crow for day. What do you want with a rooster? Too lazy to crow for day. What do you want with a hen? She won't cackle when she lays. If you see my little red rooster, please send him home. You see my little red rooster, please send him home. Ain't had no peace in the barnyard since my little red rooster been gone. Thank you. I believe my steps are growing wearier each day. Still I got another journey on my mind. Lures of this old world have made me cease to want to stay. And my one regret is leaving you behind. But if it proves to be His will that I am first to cross, and somehow I've a feeling it will be, when it comes your time to travel, likewise don't feel lost, for I will be the first one that you'll see. And I'll be waiting on the far side banks of Jordan. I'll be sitting drawing pictures in the sand. When I see you coming, I will rise up with a shout and come running through the shallow waters, reaching for your hand. Through this life we've labored hard to earn our meager fare. It's brought us trembling hands and failing eyes. So I'll just rest here on this shore and turn my eyes away. Until you come, then we'll see paradise. And I'll be waiting on the far side banks of Jordan. I'll be sitting drawing pictures in the sand. And when I see you coming, I will rise up with a shout and come running through the shallow waters, reaching for your hand. I'll be waiting on the far side banks of Jordan. I'll be sitting drawing pictures in the sand. And when I see you coming, I will rise up with a shout and come running through the shallow waters, reaching for your hand. So that's an old, not that old, but gospel come love song. There's a very touching version that Johnny and June, or Johnny Cash and June Carter recorded not long before they both died. They died, as you probably know, very within months of each other, I think. But you have to wonder, I always wonder, I love the song, it's a beautiful song, for all the sentiment and everything that isn't exactly me, but you have to wonder, I mean, if your spouse dies and goes to heaven and he or she is waiting on the far side banks of Jordan, what happens if you remarry? And then you show up. And I just, you remember Cindy who lived down the street? Okay. Just had to say that. Let's do this one. Without the capo. Rocking chair's got me, cane by my side. Fetch me my gin, son, for I tan your hide. I can't get from this cabin, I ain't going nowhere. I'm just sitting here grabbing at the flies round this old rocking chair. You remember Aunt Harriet? Up in heaven she'd be, just sitting down that sweet chariot, 'cause the end of my troubles I see.
Old rocking chair's got me. Judgment day is near. I'm tired of this old rocking chair. You remember Aunt Harriet? Up in heaven she'd be. Well, send down that sweet chariot, 'cause the end of my troubles I see. Old rocking chair's got me. Judgment day is near. I'm tired of this old rocking chair. Tied to this old rocking chair.
Thank you. That was Hoagie Carmichael, as you probably know. Okay, here's one I wrote called The Junk Man Singing. There's a story to this that I'll try to be very brief about, but the junk man was a guy my age, lived in Ottawa most of his, I guess, all his life, and we were at the same place at the same time many times, I suppose, but I didn't really know him, or not well. Knew him enough to nod at him, and anyway, he died. I went to his memorial service. A lot of my friends were there who knew him better than I did, and I was quite moved by it. The Reverend Ernie Cox officiated and sang some gospel songs in it. He was called the junk man because he could, take away your junk, or if you wanted junk, he'd find you junk, like a used fridge or something, or a part for your car or whatever. He had a truck that he drove. Anyway, so I tried to write this song for a year. It was a crappy song for a year, and then I woke up, didn't realize it until later. Woke up a year to the day later with the new version of the song in my head, the whole thing, which is what you're about to hear.
Junk man singing, he's singing a high, old lonesome song, singing about how we're all gonna miss him when he's dead and gone. The junk man singing, and he's just winging it. He's flying so high, he don't know where he's gone. Been all over, but he ain't seen nothing like this trip he's on. He's just winging it. Things ain't never gonna be any better than they really are. You get up in the morning, you get down under the car, and the tie rod's busted, and the wheel's gonna fly right off. And you still got that cough, and you still ain't got that far. You ain't got that far. All the bells are ringing, everybody knows why. It's 'cause the junk man's gone. They're gonna keep on ringing just to keep him moving on. All the bells are ringing, and the junk man's singing, singing a high, old lonesome song, singing about how we're all gonna miss him when he's dead and gone. The junk man's singing, things ain't never gonna be any better than they really are. That beat up old blue truck's about the same as a brand new car. They'll both put a hole in your pocket, and you just gotta rock it till it's all paid off. And you still got that cough, and you still ain't got that far. you ain't got that far. Down at the Lost and Found, they're saying goodbye to their old friend. They say the junk man's glory bound, just like all the prayers they send down at the Lost and Found. But you hear that sound, don't know why, even when you laid him down in the cold, cold ground, and that ought to be the end. You hear that sound, don't know why. The junk man's singing, he's singing a high, old lonesome song, singing about how we're all gonna miss him when he's dead and gone. The junk man's singing, the junk man's singing. Listen to the junk man singing.
Okay, thank you. This is, who here knew or heard Normie Clark play the saxophone? Anyway, Normie was Normie was a great sax player, and I used to play with him with Heaven's Radio and Jivewires. He was about 20 years older than me. One of the best musicians I ever played with, and he meant a lot to me, and he taught me a lot about music, not by telling me much really, but just by playing the way he played. And Normie was a drinker. Normie was a serious drinker, despite which he lived into his mid-60s. Anyway, this is about Normie. And it's called Normie. In his later days, he ended up with no serviceable teeth, and he couldn't play the saxophone anymore, and he sometimes ran a little hot dog stand in the basement at San Antonio Rose on Rito Street. And he lived some of his last days in a room upstairs from, I guess it was Molly Maguire's, the old one near Rito and King Edward. Anyway, I used to go visit him in this succession of crummy rooms he lived in, and I'd bring him tapes, jazz tapes and stuff, and we'd listen to them and drink bourbon and talk about Charlie Parker and Billie Holiday and Lester Young and stuff. Anyway, so this is Normie.
Light poured through the window, warm as honey, on a late September afternoon. Lit up a soup can full of money in the corner of Normie's room. We were listening to Billy sing the blues, talking about her man and the high drape pants he wore. And Lester slipped in like a whisper in his softest pair of shoes, like he was saying, I'll be seeing ya, like the way a white gardenia might fall softly to the floor. Normie poured 2 bourbons And he said, you know the lady came from Baltimore. Normie liked to go to Baltimore. He'd find some rundown little bar, drink beer and bourbon, while the shadows crept across the floor. Watch baseball on the TV screen, a Boston game at Fenway. That would be a perfect day. That would be a perfect day. That would be a perfect day. The night that Boston won the series, after everyone went home, I closed the bar and I stacked all the chairs on all the tables like little piles of wooden bones. I saw the Red Sox on the TV screen and I set up 2 bourbons. Years had passed and Normie was long gone, but I saw a light as warm as honey on a soup can full of money. And I heard Normie blow his horn. He was playing I'll Be Seeing Ya, softer than a white gardenia falling to the floor. And I said, Normie, how are things in Baltimore? How's that rundown little bar? Were you drinking beer and bourbon while the shadows crept across the floor? I know it wasn't Fenway, but it must have been a perfect day. It must have been a perfect day. It must have been a perfect day. Must have been a perfect day. Thank you. This is how Bob Dylan a long time ago did, sort of like how he did this old Appalachian song called Moonshiner. I've been a moonshiner for 17 long years. I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. I go to some hollow and I set up my still. If whiskey don't kill me, then I don't know what will. I go to some bar room, drink with my friends, where the women can't follow. See what I spend. God bless those pretty women. How I wish they was mine. Their breath is as sweet as the dew on the vine. Let me eat when I'm hungry. Let me drink when I'm dry. Give me $1 when I'm hard up. Religion when I die. The whole world's a bottle and life is but a dram. When he bottled gets empty, it sure ain't worth a damn. Thank you. I think this will be the last one. It's called Fireflies. I wrote it for my son Max, so he'd like me better. Meadows full of fireflies, August moon is on the rise, so many stars in the big night sky, like holes in a blanket way up high, so many reasons not to close your eyes. Your sleepy head's all full of wishes. That big old pond is full of fishes, and we'll go catch them soon someday, I know. Bring 'em home and cook 'em in a pan. No one cooks like your mama can, at least that's what your daddy says. Now off to sleep you go, and when you dream you fly so high, drifting like a lullaby on the night breeze blowing by. But first you have to close your eyes. Your sleepy head's all full of wishes. That big old pond is full of fishes, and we'll go catching them soon. Someday, I know. Bring them home and cook them in a pan. No one cooks like your mama can. At least that's what your daddy says. Now off to sleep you go. And when you dream, you fly so high, drifting like a lullaby on the night breeze blowing by. But first you have to close your eyes.
Thank you. You can all go to sleep now. Thanks again to Terry and John Sabansky and all the video guys and everyone who volunteers and works behind the scenes for MACAW. I've had fun playing for you, and thank you.